welcome back.
Hello.
Love to have you. Um, so let's get into it.
I don't like seeing my face behind me. It's like all
Okay.
these like pictures, but it's fine.
Just casually slide the camera over.
Um, Gosh, I hope no one but my grandmother watches this on YouTube. It's fine. Do you want to do highs and lows of the last 2 weeks again?
Yeah,
Okay.
I gotta think.
Okay, I'll go first again.
Okay, cool.
Let's see. I don't remember 2 weeks ago. I gotta look at my calendar. 2 weeks ago. No, last week. What am I saying? Last week. Oh, I worked in my classroom.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, I did a lot of that last week.
Classroom. She got the classroom. Hey, hey, hey.
So that was really
Dance party.
fun. It was basically all done thanks to my wonderful family. Shout out to them because I know they're the only ones listening. No, I know they will listen though. So shout
No,
out to
Lauren, I have
them.
like 5 friends that are listening to this
Sorry,
too.
okay. But for my side, those three. Shout out to y'all. Yeah, so they helped me get that all prepped and ready, and it looks great. I got my teacher desk finally because it
Woohoo!
got lost in all the chaos of waxing the floors this summer. But yeah, everything's pretty much set up and done. And besides, planning with my team in the next 2 weeks, like I'm ready to teach in a classroom, I guess.
Woo! Wait, I'm confused. So they decided to like do something with the floors, and then all of a sudden your desk went missing.
Okay, so every summer they wax the floors in classrooms in the school, like if they're not carpeted. So everyone has to move their desk like to the very edge of the room. Like everything has to be moved off the floor to the edge of the room. And
Okay.
I think they just label everything and move it all out, and then they go into each room. And so somewhere within all of that, my desk got put somewhere.
Okay.
Not really sure. But when I got my keys, like I had all the student desk, I just hadn't had my desk, and it finally showed up this week. So that was fun. So I got to like finally put together my desk. But I also got a school laptop. I had training this week, so that's another high. I guess these are all highs. I don't think I said what I was going off of, but I started
Lows.
training.
I'm starting my job. No,
No, all these are highs. I don't even know if I had many lows like this week. It was just really busy. It was really fun to like get to see all the teachers that are going to be new in the district and like get to meet people, I guess. Like I've been waiting to do that. To like I really have been waiting to meet people I'd be around, and the new people are also like my comfort right now as a new person.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we're all like figuring it out too. Or figuring out together. And so training was really helpful, really nice. By like day 2 and day 3, I was excited to go, which I was excited day 1, but it was more nerves than anything. But day 2 and day 3, I was like, oh, I get to go sit with this person, I get to go see this person, I get to talk to this person, like that's really fun. And then what else? Oh, I guess my low is how early I'm gonna have to wake up for school because of how early school starts and what time we have to be there, because school starts at like 7:15, so we had to be 30 minutes early. So I'm gonna have to be at the school at 6:45, and I'm like, how am I gonna have time to get ready in the morning? I have a mirror in my desk ready to go if I have to bring my makeup to school.
Oh, that's good.
I'm like, that means I will be running out of the house if I want to have any sleep. Because
Yeah, so what time do you think you're gonna wake up? Like 6?
I want to say 6, but also I'm like, that's not a lot of time.
No, because how long does it take you to get there?
15.
Okay, so then 6:45, you'll have to like leave by 6:30.
Right. So that
So
means
you have to
I'd
be
be
like up and like out of bed.
at 6,
I
like
just
right over my alarm.
spat all over my laptop.
Ew.
Up and out of bed by like 6. Yeah.
Right, and I am usually like a one snooze person.
Same.
Um, so I'm like, am I gonna have to be a 5:30 a.m. person now?
No.
Because I don't want to be, but also I kind of want to have a little time to myself to breathe in the morning before going and getting my day started.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, will you have time to breathe like at school?
Probably for those like minutes before
Yeah,
class starts. I mean, I'll get like my planning period and my conference period.
right.
That still is like after at least one or two class periods. So it's like,
Yeah,
I mean, all of us in first period are gonna be tired. I'm just gonna look at my students and be like,
yeah.
right there with you. Like,
I
but
feel like you'll get in the groove of it. And also, it helps me. I remember, I'm like, I used to make it to dance practice at 6 a.m.
yeah, yeah,
I
no,
woke up at like 5:30, sometimes 5:45.
yes,
Just
nice.
rolled out of bed and sped Cass and I to practice. But like,
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
just
I was able to do that at one point, so I should be able to do that again.
every day for like 2
That
years.
helps me. Yeah,
Like I don't that schedule in high school just seems so unrealistic nowadays.
I know.
Because but then I don't know, because I like also to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep,
hmm
and I would like to continue that trend. But that means I'd have to go to bed at like 9:30 if I wanted to wake up at 4:30.
That's yeah.
That's not happening.
Welcome to work life.
But I mean, if I'm tired, like obviously I'll go to bed. But ideally, I want to stay up and not
Yeah.
be like, oh, 8:30, time to get ready for bed. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I know I'll figure it out, but right now, but this last week, training started at like 8:15. I was like, okay, this isn't bad. And then I started thinking of how much time it took me to get ready in the morning, just not being used to things. And also, like, I wanted my hair to look good. I wanted my makeup to look good.
Yeah.
Class and stuff, I'm not going to be doing my hair every day. Like, I'm not going to like curl it, but I'm at least going to do my makeup. And I was just like, oh, this takes me so long in the morning. And not long, just more time than I'd like it to, especially if I have to wake up and get to school at 6:45.
Yeah. I feel like you'll get used to it though, because I mean, at least speaking from my own experience, and I feel like you're like a lot more self-disciplined than I am. Um, so like let's see, I wake up at 6 and it used to take me, I would give myself like the first 30 minutes to like get ready and then the second 30 minutes ish to like take care of Ellie.
Right.
And so now it started like I can still get myself ready in like 30 minutes and then I'll take care of Ellie in like 15. She's like her arm was like spazzing or she's shaking, I'm not sure. But she's fine. Dramatic. So she but like now I can take care of her in like 15 and then I'm like ready to go by like 6:45. But before I was like struggling to get out by like 7:20. So, like once you get more into the rhythm of it, you're kind of like, and you should
Right.
go. But it also helps that I don't have to wear like biz cash or anything and I can
Yeah.
literally just throw on yoga pants and throw on a t-shirt and be like, let's go.
I think it's just gonna have to be a prep my outfit the night before thing though.
Yeah.
Because if I do that, I feel good for the morning. But if I don't, then I'm like taking extra time to pick out an outfit. Or I'll just end up wearing the same thing like every week. Like
Yeah.
Monday you wear those pants every single time. That's not bad.
Without fail. Yes.
Yeah. It'll be fine. It just needs to start. I think I'm like in that anxious.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing before the new teacher stuff was just I'm ready to start so I can see how this is gonna be. And then after the new teacher stuff, I was like, oh, I'm good. Like
Yeah.
easy, not easy, but
Yes. Manageable.
manageable. Yes, that's a good
So highs for me. Did you have any lows or it's just getting up
time.
early?
Yeah.
Okay. Highs. Got a list. I got my couch.
Love.
It's just so nice. It's like comfy and like ocean. And I got my Wi-Fi hooked up finally. I realized I was just being stupid, and it was this whole fiasco where like I got the like router thing before I actually like talked to my apartment and told them that I wanted Wi-Fi. But I kind of thought that was dumb because I was like, wouldn't you just like assume and
Dude,
like,
who doesn't want Wi-Fi?
yeah, which I don't know, or at least like they didn't include it in like the move-in package or anything. So it was like there was no information about Wi-Fi. But I had seen people like getting this like router thing ordered because they like only do like AT&T like fiber stuff or whatever because they're bougie. And so I was like, oh, I'll just do that. But then I didn't know I had to talk to the apartment about it. And then finally I was like, okay. And I tried to like mess with the router and like get it hooked up and it wasn't working. So then I like emailed my property manager and was like, hey, do you have any like recommendations for Wi-Fi? I was just ready to return this and like figured out another way. And they're like, oh yeah, we're AT&T exclusive property. So like if you do like I'll email them or I'll call them and give them your information and they should like reach out to you soon. They never reached out to me. Come Thursday, this past Thursday, I was just like done and tired and like had a really long day of coding. I was like, I need a win. And so I was like, I'm gonna get this Wi-Fi set up and I'm not gonna let it like I'm not gonna not get it set up. That's not an option.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did the same thing that I did before and it turned right on.
Oh.
I was like, okay, that's fine. So I don't really know what happened. I think I should have gone about it a little bit differently from the start, but like also should have been notified. Anyways, that's fine. Um, so yeah, couch, Wi-Fi. What else did I do? I went to a drag brunch today. That
How
was
was
my first
that?
ever like drag show thingy. It was really fun. I really liked it. They were very like it was very like comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause my big thing is like I don't really want like these people like some people love when like the drag queens come and like grind up on them or like get all in their face, whatever. And I'm like, I don't like that, especially because it's the first drag show I've ever been to. So I'm like, I just kind of like, go see like dip my little toes in the water and like just
Mm-hmm.
enjoy it. But it was super comfortable. Like they would most of the time they would just like go up and like grab the dollar bills, be like, oh, thank you so much. But then sometimes it got a little like risque. And I was like, go off, but
Yeah.
also please don't go
So,
off on me. I will literally like I just don't like attention, period. And so I'm like that. Like I will like, let's go from afar, but like but it was fun. It was really good. They're really chill, really comfortable. They're really funny too, which I was like,
mm-hmm.
I love it. So they do that like once a month, like some sort of drag thing. And so I really want to go back. What else did I do? Went out last night. That was fun. Yeah, I seem to be in my wing woman era. Um,
Is that your low?
not sure
Okay.
because I don't know. Like I am fully here to be a wing woman. I love it until I don't, because it's like if I'm and what I really just hate, and I don't think this so much happened yesterday, but I think it maybe slightly happened, is like when a guy is talking to a girl, and this is the same thing that like kind of happened on the cruise. This is what like really drew my attention to it. The guy's talking to a girl and they think that the other girl has to be entertained.
Oh.
People that know me would never be like, oh my God, someone needs to go like entertain Kylie, make
Mm-hmm.
sure she's got like a bud. They're just like, oh, Kylie's gonna go like entertain herself. She's fine. But
Exactly.
I'm like, why? Like, don't assume that little rant session this
Don't
morning.
assume women want to talk to you.
Yeah, no, which not in like that way, but like just don't assume that all women need to be occupied. Like
Yeah, like I
if you
can
want to go and shoot your shot with one girl, go and shoot your shot. And I feel like it's
exactly.
also really helpful if the other girl isn't occupied. I feel like she's gonna give you like a little bit of an indication on whether or not the girl that you're trying to talk to actually wants to talk to you.
Hmm.
You know, because I'm like, if you're talking to this one girl and like if a guy's talking to you and like you're fine and you're vibing, then like I'm gonna scoot my butt away. But
Hmm.
like if a guy's shooting a shot and I can tell you're like not into it, then
Right.
I'ma like pull up
Yeah.
and make myself the most obnoxious person there ever was
Right.
to get out of that situation. And I feel like that's like a good indication to a guy, like, and not a pointed obnoxious thing, but just like if I'm being obnoxious, PSA, guy, if you're not trying to talk to me and I show up in the middle of the conversation and I start being obnoxious, chances are she don't want to talk to you.
Yes.
Like,
No, that's yes.
and so I'm like, why would you like stop that indication by trying to get another like the other girl occupied
I'm distracted.
instead of
Yeah.
instead of just literally knowing from the get-go, like if y'all are gonna not. And then if I don't pull out my obnoxious self, then it's like chances are if there's another guy in the little group that wants to come up and talk to me, he will come up and talk to me.
Hmm.
Or I will just start a conversation with a random person, being like, oh, I'm bored. She's
Hmm.
hitting it off. Hey, what's up? Like, irks me.
Yeah.
Also, this is kind of a little like more like we're gonna go into a little more lighthearted. Um, someone had the audacity to reject my ID last
Because
night.
it's Texan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so up here, oh yeah, I was like literally I was really proud of myself for how I handled it. But it was so annoying because we go to this like Sydney and I are just out and we're like, okay, like let's go try a new bar before we go where we like know people because we knew people were gonna be at like this one place. And so we were like, okay, let's try this bar before we go there. And so
Mhm.
we did. It was very much more a college bar than the other places we have been going to. And so but we walked up, and there was a line, we waited in line, whatever, get to the like front, and I hand the guy my ID. And I'm like, I give you a little bit of grace, like I give you the benefit of the doubt, like, yeah, it's a little funny. You're like, you're probably not used to seeing it.
Right.
I am almost 1,000 miles away from home. So like I get you don't get a lot of Texas IDs. But he literally took it, looked at it, didn't even like try to match it to my face. Like didn't like look at because some people will be like, look at it, look at me, look back down to like, okay,
Mhm.
like you're good. And I'm like, okay, I respect that. I know I look like a baby and like whatever. Um, but he took the ID, looked at it, looked up at me and said, nope,
That's so
and like extended
rude.
his hand back out to me. And I didn't put my hand up. I didn't like to get it or anything. I just looked at him and I went, what? And not in like a sassy, like, what, but genuinely like not really knowing what's going on. Cause I'm like, bro, I'm 23. I never had a fake. So I'm like, I never had to like, I'm like, no, you're taking my ID. Like this,
Mhm.
we're not gonna play this game. And so I look at him and I go, what? And they have, since we're in the city, they have like scanners that they usually use for IDs.
Okay.
And so what irritated me was like he didn't even, so it was him sitting there like checking the IDs initially, and then his friend or like the other like bouncer, whatever you want to call him, little twiggy boys, I don't really know what they would have done. The other guy like sitting there with like maybe like a cash box, I don't remember, but like the scanner there. And so he didn't even give it, he wasn't like, oh, this looks a little sus, and like gave it to his friend to scan. He literally just handed it back to me and said no. And I was like, okay, I get you can be like in like sus with like in-state IDs that you know are fake. But I'm like, this straight up says Texas. Like you should not be assuming anything.
Mhm.
Like, if you think this looks a little bit like weird, scan it and then tell me no.
Right.
Like, don't just Ugh, it was pissing me off though, because he literally just handed it back to me without doing any or tried to hand it back to me. And I just went, "What?" And then his friend was like, "Hey, like, I'll scan it." And then he gives it to his friend, the friend scans it, it goes fine. It goes through fine. He hands it back to like the friend that scanned it, hand my ID to me. And the guy goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, my bad."
Yeah, it
And I
is.
just kind of like usually I would be like, "Oh my gosh, no, you're totally fine." Like, I get it looks weird and like move on. But I just looked at him like and I didn't really give him a look. I just kind of like looked back to like acknowledge that I heard him and then move on.
That would
So I
oh,
was so irritated, but I was really proud because I was like, honestly, probably the Kylie like 3 years ago would have just been like too, like literally so non confrontational to
yeah,
just be like, oh, I don't even want to mess with this. Like, I'll leave.
yeah.
But now I like literally, like, without hesitation, without question, was like, what? No, like, you're taking it. So, little growth moment. Yeah, that should be what anyone does. But I was like, I mean, you know how like non-confrontational I was.
Mhm.
And so it was cool to know that like in the sense of like not really even thinking about what's going on, like having like a fight or flight almost, I was like, nah, you're taking this. Like you don't have another option. Like, what are you gonna tell me? Like it's fake. Like prove it to me. I don't
Right,
know.
especially if you have the scanner, like, it's not that hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I was like, you don't get to tell me it's sus and hand it back to me before. Like, what do you expect me to do? Oh, damn it, at least I tried. And like walk away. No, bro, what?
Like, "I'm old enough,
Absolutely
let me
not.
in."
Yeah, I was like, I'm not playing this game. So I don't know if I'm gonna go back there. Um, Probably not. It looked like the drinks are really cheap though. So it's a place that I could go for like 20 minutes, get cheap drinks, and then go to a place that's a little more like age appropriate and respectful.
Right.
Um, yeah. So it was like a high and low tied into one, I guess. And then oh, another thing, the church that I go to and I still like tune in virtually for is separating from the United Methodist Church congregation.
Oh?
Apparently, the like United Methodist like thingy is saying like they seem to be more progressive in the thing of like, oh yeah, we're not gonna assume that like God is like a male, like God, I'm not gonna associate God with being a male.
Mm.
Which I'm like, yeah, that's difficult because when you're saying like, oh God the Father or like our Father, da da da, like it's very like father figure-esque. And so when you start referring to God as like basically like a non-binary being, I'm like, you're more accurate and you're more like progressive in the sense of like not associating like male or female with everything. But at the same time, like that takes away from like all the tradition of it. So things like I agreed with what they were saying because that's like all the service was this past Sunday. Is
Mhm.
like I agreed with what they were saying until I didn't, and he was like, "Okay, so like there was parts of it that I was like, okay, we seem to just not be like very accepting." It's like I get that it's different, and I get like that's hard, especially for a lot of people that are like the generation above us because it's like they grew up with all of that stuff, but at the same time like if you're not accepting of the change like you're I think by definition like not really living out like the Christian values of like being accepting and being there for people. Like your role as like just a member of the church, as a brother or sister or non-binary person
A
of
sibling.
Christ. What?
A sibling.
Yeah, if like your job as like a sibling of Christ is to like treat other people in like a godly manner,
Mhm.
and like you're not doing that by saying, by like constantly calling God the Father. And I get like it's based in tradition, and I get it's based in history, where like when the Bible was written, and really up until like very recently, it was always like the male, the father figure, the leader, the like head of the household. So it's like, yes, it makes sense in tradition, but if we're trying to like move forward and like progress society to be in a better place, you can't just be stuck in your ways. I don't know. That's my whole thing. So now I also got to find, that's another thing I got to include in my little church search up here, is like how they're referring to God. It's a little bit scary. Not scary in the sense of like the direction that we're moving. Like I think that's great, but I'm like, I don't have like much of a rock to stand on right now, cuz I'm like my home life is changing. Like my, or at least like my relationship with like my parents and like the stuff that they're going through. My, like obviously my like work life is changing.
Mhm.
My social life is changing. And now my church life is changing.
Welcome to 23. I told you.
I know
Told
I
you.
was thinking about that on my way home, and I was thinking about like, I think this was yesterday. I was like thinking about all the stuff I wanted to like talk to you about. I was like, golly, I was like, this chaos, like I thought the chaos was gonna be with like guys, because that seems to be like where my drama really lies.
Mhm.
Um, but no, I'm like, we're just getting all the stops, just pull them right out.
Yeah.
So, and it's great because I'm like, okay, this is nice. Like, this is a really cool chance for me to like really hone in and like really define like who I am in the midst of all of this, and like potentially like redefine who I am.
Yes.
Because not in a way of like changing, but really being like, this is what I believe. This is the ground that I stand on. This is what I'm like set in,
Mhm.
and like kind of like put my own life back that like my parents had initially put together for me, you
Yeah.
know? Now it's like all those pieces, they're gone everywhere. Now I get to put them back together the way that I want, which is great. And it's probably going to be very similar, but I'm like, it's chaotic and I did not sign up for this.
No one ever does. But yeah, no, that's what 23 was. It like literally everything fell apart for me at one point. And
Mm-hmm.
like at the same time, it felt like,
Mm-hmm.
and then I gradually put it all back together with the pieces that I wanted to keep.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a cute way of putting it. I love that.
But I like, as I'm wrapping up 23, thank God, I'm like, I feel like, I, I feel like I've learned a lot over this last
Mm-hmm.
year. And
Yeah.
which like I'm very grateful for, but at the same time I'm like, holy crap, did everything have to fall apart at the same exact time? Because I did too. I had like the relationship stuff, family stuff, school, career, religion, like everything. At the same
Mm-hmm.
time I was like, oh my god, who am I? And
Yeah.
then you kind of go, okay, like once the pieces kind of settle around you, you can kind of pick up what you want again.
Yeah.
And not that I'm like ever going to be completely like, you know, because you're always changing and
Right.
as a
Right.
person, or you hope to always be changing and evolving. But at least I feel like I have a better idea of who I am going into 24 than I did at 23. Because at 23, I was like, oh no, this thing will work. Like nothing is working.
Yeah, that's I'm just like, I don't like literally every single like foundation that I have, every single pillar, excuse me, it seems like every single pillar of my identity has like fallen.
Yeah.
And not in a like super destructive dramatic way, but like at the same time kind of. And so I don't know, it's weird and it's like a lot. It's just a lot.
So what's coming up? Is that it? Like, are you going to a new church tomorrow? Because of what happened last week?
No, see, I don't really know. Because basically with churches right now, like I have been just watching the one from back home,
Mhm.
and just because I'm like, it's easier half the time I need to be here anyways. I don't really want to like leave Ellie for a while. Um, and also like starting a new church, it's a little bit scary. Like
Yeah, it's
you're
intimidating.
yeah, and it's like realistically, like ideally, these people are gonna be accepting, they're gonna be open, they're gonna be welcoming. But that doesn't change the fact of like, if you're walking into this church by yourself, like you have no idea like what the vibes are, even like how to dress, which is a thing that I've been
Right.
like thinking about. Cause I'm like, if I would go to the church back home, like I could wear jeans with holes in them and a t-shirt
Mhm.
and like still like worship my heart out, and like that would be perfectly fine, and that would be like the vibe of like the church and like the service. But I'm like here, especially because I think a lot of them are more, at least the ones in the city, just going off of like looks wise, they look a lot more traditional
Yeah.
just because a lot of them are like older buildings. And so I don't know if that's necessarily associated with like their services. Like it could totally not be, but it also very well could be. And so I'm like, I need to like just looking at like how to dress. It's not really how to act because I'm like, that's
Yeah.
fine. And like, of course, people are going to new churches. Like, if I go to a Catholic church, I haven't been confirmed. I haven't gone through communion. And so it's like I know that I can't get up and like go and get communion, but I also don't feel like bad in that because I'm like people all the time are like exploring different churches, like trying new things, whatever.
Mhm.
But I don't know. It's something that my mom said. She was like, "Well, you can just watch the sermon like online before you go."
Mhm.
And that way, like just try it out, see if you like it. Like if you just like the way that they worship and the way that they like the sermons that they're having. And so it's like that's a fair point. So I need to do that, but it's just been a whole thing of like honestly, and it's this whole thing of like I've kind of put it on the back burner, like enough to where I still watch church, but it's a lot easier to like I guess that kind of relates to like all these pieces falling apart everywhere. The one thing that I have right now, not the one thing, but like one thing that I have right now is like I know I can live stream the church back home, and that
Yeah.
doesn't have to be a new change right now. Like there's the change that's forced, which is I obviously can't go back there in person. It's not exactly a quick little drive, but like I don't have to change it up completely either.
Right.
So I don't know how I'm gonna do that. But tomorrow I'm going to Devil's Lake, which is like an hour outside of Madison, and we're leaving at like 10 a.m. So I probably won't go to a service tomorrow, and so I'll probably just watch it when I get back. But at the same time, like if the Methodist Church, if they're just gonna be talking about separating from the big congregation until it happens, I don't really want my like Sunday mornings to be filled with politics.
Fair.
Like at the same time, like if I could focus my Sunday morning on like just a sermon and like just my relationship with God rather than like bringing the politics into it, especially after last week, like that would be lovely.
Yeah. I get that.
So we'll see.
What else are you doing this week?
Um, not much. Ellie's like staring me down. I've been telling her that we can go to a dog park and I haven't done it yet.
Ooh.
So I think she's like getting on my butt about it. So I am gonna do that like one afternoon this week, like go to the little doggy park. And go. And now that I got paid, I like can actually like I can go shopping and like
Mhm.
just treat myself a bit because I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna go blow my paycheck, but
Right.
it's my first big girl paycheck. Like this is something to celebrate. Yeah. And I can finally like get more furniture too.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna kind of have to start planning like how I want to spend my expenses because obviously I can't just go like
Yeah. You need to
blow
budget.
it all and stuff. Yeah. So I just need to look into like what I want to get versus like what can wait and whatnot. So I need to do that. Lots of budgeting stuff, but I think that's it. Yeah, I'm out of my coding camp. So I have to take coding exams. What is it? On Wednesday and Friday this week. So prayers are appreciated because only God knows how I'm gonna get through those.
Yeah.
But it's finally like out of my like 8 to 5 coding lecture thing
Oh,
for
nice.
the past 2 weeks. So that's nice.
Meanwhile, I'm going into my big girl training this week.
Uh,
No, I'm excited. I feel like it's all going to be fun. Like they already have a scavenger hunt planned for the school, and they have like we have to bring our school pictures, like at least one
wait, like
to
old
guess.
school pictures?
Yeah, I feel like we can
Oh,
guess like who's who.
do
I'm
you
excited.
know which one you're bringing?
Not yet. I'm hoping I can find like an old kindergarten one because I had for the first day of kindergarten, I had a whole like zebra print dress with a matching bow.
Yes, absolutely.
So if I can find that, that would be ideal. If not, I know there's plenty of bow wearing pictures that I can pull from, but nothing from middle school. I don't know why they suggested that. No way.
They like suggested
Well, they said
specifically middle.
school age pictures, and they were
Okay.
like examples, middle school, blah blah. And I obviously they want you to pick. Well, not obviously. Like they kind of hinted at it being junior high because we are a junior high, but no, those
Well, I'm like,
pictures are not
they're
coming
not
out.
trying to relate to the kids right now either. Like,
They,
it's not, the kids also should,
the kids don't relate to those ugly pictures. The kids look
no.
great. They have social media now
Oh,
and TikTok to tell them what looks good. We did not have that. We did not have trends. We look bad.
I think we had trends. I mean,
Bad.
I personally, I really loved to sport the like tank top underneath a t-shirt with like it tied up and like tucked in the back.
Or like
That
just
was iconic.
the skinny jeans, the Converse, like those really tall
Berries.
Converse, Sperry's. Holy moly. Oh, the side parts that were like starting at a ear and went all the way over. Bad makeup because we didn't know how to wear it yet. Just everything. So no,
Yeah.
those pictures are not going to be coming out, but a cute one is going to. But I'm so easy to guess on those because I don't look different.
Yeah.
I just have the same round face, same big old blue eyes. Like, you know who it is. So
Correct.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be fun to play like with other people that I don't really
Mhm.
know very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be exciting. And then the next week is more planning and the first day of school. So
Yay! Wait, the first day of school is in
August 11th.
no, that's so
It's a
early.
Thursday.
I feel like
Yeah.
that's a week or two before like
It is. We start early for some reason
okay.
earlier. But also we have I don't know if that's this week or next week. Oh, I think it's this week. The 4th? Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's this week. Ooh. We have this little like schedule night for the kids to come and pick up their schedules and walk to school, and I'm gonna hand out schedules.
Cute.
Kids, and I just
Oh,
realized that that's this week, and now I'm like, oh no.
oh
Like,
my
yep, they're gonna be
goodness.
real people soon.
That's so exciting.
Stuff or first day of school is gonna happen. And I think that's about it for me in the next 2 weeks. So we'll see.
I'm so excited for you. This is gonna be so fun. I need like a video of the classroom, like on
Oh
the
yeah.
day or something like that. Something. I need to live vicariously through you as I'm sitting in my office grinding out whatever the heck I am doing. I
Yeah,
don't know what I'm gonna be doing. Something training related though. Oh yeah, those tests, but that's fine.
what a time. But yeah, I'll send pictures because now I have a desk. So there's lots of things to update.
Yeah. Big girl moves only.
Yes.
Okay.
What?
Well, on that note.
I know, I was like, bye. No.
Peace out, homies.
We're gonna go keep talking.
What?
I said we're gonna go keep talking now, but y'all are done.
Yeah. Peace, love, blessings. Mwah.